Luckily, nobody can hear anything from us right now. Go.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Cloister of the Dice. I am your one and only gaming monk, better known as Mildra, and with me I have 1, 2, 3, 4 good brothers and sisters. Ah, 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 ah. We have Stella Shiva, Hydra, Kay, and Kosi today with us. Ember is doing the Doku challenge, and Joe had to step aside. There is a certain irony in one of the ship's cooks having a food issue. Not an intentional irony, of course, but just something that happens. But we are back. So, where we last left off, you all had managed to get out of Montaigne and onto the ship that was arranged after dealing with a quote unquote quarantine, an internal civil war, the possibility of the army marching on the town, and one of the most awkward moments that the town has ever experienced, with someone shouting the wrong words. About as awkward as someone yelling the wrong name in bed.
Oh, Viva la Revolucion!
Because that is French. That is Spanish, not French.
Wait, is it? I actually didn't know that.
He was using a word for a Spanish Revolution while he's in Montaigne.
I believe the French version would be the Vive la Révolution.
Yeah.
Vive la Révolution.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in the accent.
Yep.
That's why that was so awkward last week. But in addition to all of that, once you got out onto the new world, that's where things started to get a bit interesting. Nearly dealing with a mutiny and dealing with a leaky ship because there was a spy from Vodach on the thing, along with having to go through a really bad storm and seeing a ship graveyard, as well as a out of body experience.
Need to lay off the drugs.
Including huge skeletal bats. So standard things you'd expect to see on a ship.
It's just another Tuesday, then.
And in the process of all of that, dealing with the pressures of being on the ship, as well as that box that you don't know the contents of. that Matilda insists is paramount to the mission, but one, you don't know what's in it, and two, when you try and anyone who tries to open the thing, it doesn't work because the box has layers of security. So, in addition to all of that, right before we did the wrap up last week, you guys suddenly had the onset of cannon fire.
Yes. And we also had a new friend join us. Otto.
Ah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Otto, now granted, there is the weirdness that everyone else has to deal with, the fact that there is a automata on the ship. But but the sailors have the attitude of as long as he doesn't drag everyone else from doing their job, we don't care. Of course, some of the more superstitious ones are staying the hell away from him, but it's not like they're raising a fuss, so you got that going for you. But we will be, but we pick things up right around the time that you saw several ships approaching you. So what you and this is you guys are part of a flotilla. This is a small fleet coming in. It is 3 brigandines and a frigate. And as they're as they are approaching, you also the main thing that you notice is one, uh, they are coming in particularly fast, and two, they have the ATC flag on them.
Here's a question.
Mm.
Is one of those ships Le Dame de Fer?
No. But
Alright.
on seeing them, Annabelle turns to you and asks, do we fight them, or do we try and outrun them?"
Alright. Here's another question. Why would the ATC be... Now, this is completely out of character. Why would the
Mhm.
ATC be firing on our ships if we're flying Montaigne national colors?
Well, an easy plunder because it's not like anyone's going to report back.
Mm,
You guys are you're still in the middle of the ocean.
fair enough.
Out of curiosity, the route that we're following, is it a common knowledge or not?
Obviously, some degree of common knowledge among sailors, given all the dead ships you found.
I say we try to let that small force. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure out what I'm trying to say here. Because the ship that Otto's crew came off of all disappeared a year before.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be something about that stretch of sea that's likely cursed. I say we try to turn things around and have them go in front of us and see if their folk disappear.
I appreciate a good science experiment.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, taking these guys head on is probably just going to cripple us at best.
Oh yeah, especially because I don't I have no access to the maps. I don't know if there's going to be any islands that we'll be making port in, because bear in mind we used up a decent amount of ammo getting out of port.
Now,
Wasting ammo right now would absolutely cripple us for future endeavors.
I will note 7th Sea is not the kind of game that's going to be individually tracking ammunition.
Mm.
It's more a matter of whether or not you think that you could handle the fight, and to see how well armed those ships are. Roll wits and notice.
Alrighty, I will do so. Especially because I just put some points in that. Oh, fuck me!
So
Can anyone else to make that roll?
Okay, it's notice and what now?
Wits.
I'll roll. Well, damn!
Go, Rio! She
So-
got 4 raises.
Mm-hmm. So the three brigantines have 2 rows of 9 cannons, and the frigate has 2 rows of 10 cannons.
Yeesh.
Yeah, let's see if we can go ahead and try to lose them. Because I don't trust those odds.
Neither do I.
Although by comparison, the La Belle Traversée only has 1 row of 10 cannons.
Yeah, we need to try to outrun that.
So let me.
We have it coming. There she is. Or there
Sorry
they
for being
are.
a little late.
Certainly not too late, but you still win the Doku challenge. I don't make the rules, except when I do. But as you're discussing, the ships do get closer, and let me make one roll.
Douche.
Okay. At four raises, what you end up seeing is that they are readying their front cannons, as well as some crossbows. It's not going to be enough to take out anything major, but arrows and bolts are still arrows and bolts.
Mm-hmm.
So roll. So anyone who wants to roll resolve and sailing,
Oh, I got this one.
and whoever's participating, you need to get more raises than I did.
I get a
You got the
reroll. No. I get a reroll on that one.
Yep.
Damn it! That only brings it up to 44.
That's still four raises.
Rio just
And
got
then-
3
Yep. 37 in a row.
in a row.
But that is enough, as you see these splashes of cannon fire that misses. While it misses, it's missing by 20 feet from the ship, which is just close enough to give most people brown pants.
I don't see Annabelle calling for her brown pants.
Probably not, but that's one volley, and that's not even their main guns. So,
I turn to Annabelle and I say, "Get us the fuck out of here!"
which
Everything okay?
Monk?
It might be the internet.
It
again.
might be his mic.
Ah,
Bear in mind, he does have some... He's been fighting with his mic for a while.
Sometimes the mics win.
The mics, they got him.
Yup.
oh,
There it goes. Hold on, he silent a little bit there too, and then died again. RVT, everybody, never without a botch.
No, this was a case. Right, am I back?
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, okay. Technology hates me today. Anyways,
Oh, relax, Monks. It's not just you.
but as you do attempt to get further, especially thanks to Henri, utilizing that compass to maneuver around currents.
Wait, what happened? You cut off, like, right at the beginning of your explanation.
Ah, is utilizing the compass that he had found back in the Duloc Castle to help maneuver around currents,
Mm.
so you can get yourself some degree of distance.
Hmm.
Cut me off again.
No, no, no.
No, no,
No,
you're
we
good.
heard that much.
But if but it does seem that they are trying to get closer and trying to maneuver themselves so that they can fire the main guns on the sides to get at you. But right when it seems like they're getting close, all of a sudden they have they have bigger problems to deal with as you see several tentacles rise up from the ocean.
Oh shit. Kraken!
And and as a result, their attention is divided from between trying to take you out and the fact that they are dealing with a kraken.
I'm just looking at the scene unfolding and, oh man.
Just keep sailing, sailing, sailing.
Annabelle looks at the kraken, which is somewhat surfaced and is thrashing its tentacles against against one of the brigantines, causing the other brigantines in the frigate to try and reposition and maneuver. She looks at that scene. She looks at you. She looks at that scene again. Says, "We're going to agree that was a case of way too much alcohol during one of these celebrations with the crew. Are we good?"
I.
As far as I'm concerned, we didn't see that.
I saw nothing.
Mhm.
So I am going to turn back to our new friend Otto. Question out of character. Because I am a linguist, would I have learned the Thayan equivalent of sign language?
Yes.
All right.
So, as a side note, if Carl were here, he probably would be dreaming of how to cook us at tentacles.
Oh, he'd definitely be dreaming of calamari.
Mm-hmm.
But, alas, our poor chef is actually down with food poison.
He probably managed to get some of that mercury in his system as well.
Yep.
Alright, so Keelan is going to turn to our new friend Otto, and she's going to attempt to sign something to see if he understands it.
Mm-hmm. He does nod and sign back, and it's clear that that sign language is something that he knows. It's just that most of the other crew on his old ship didn't, so he had to improvise with communication since he
Oh,
can't
thank
talk.
God. This means we're not going to have to waste parchment. Oh. I signed to him, "What more can you tell us about what happened to your crew?"
He signs that he doesn't recall much aside from the mist, but he does recall seeing out of the corner of his quote unquote eyes. because he has no eyes.
His
eyes
optics.
around the- yeah. He saw what looked like a woman's head peeking out of the ocean.
Oh shit.
And then someone jumped, and they didn't come back.
Was there singing?
There were sounds. I couldn't make out what it was though.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
he asked, "Is there? Did I say something improper?"
No, Otto, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. Your crew probably traveled through siren-infested waters.
Well, then I suppose we should consider ourselves fortunate that that sirens haven't tried to tempt this ship.
Aye. Still, it's worrisome. If I were to give you a map, would you be able to show me the area that the first sailor jumped at?
He looks at the map that's on the wall and points to some of the spots that you already are long past.
Okay, so you've been drifting far for a while.
Mhm. There is all. Though he also notes that he doesn't that he had never seen sea life that large as that crustacean that you saw earlier.
Crustacean.
That's what he thinks the Kraken is. His
No.
knowledge isn't.
So, krakens aren't crustaceans, they're decapods.
I'll correct my records. He hasn't a lot of knowledge, but he is book smart. If you catch my drift.
Yes. He's read a lot, but he's not skilled when it comes to practical things.
Mhm. Now that being said, after getting some distance from the ships that were trying to shoot at you, you do catch wind that there's an island that's less than a day's sailing from where you are.
Okay.
Which Annabelle looks at and goes, "We could probably use that as a 1-day stop before continuing onward."
Be nice to have my feet on solid ground again.
Just wait. Your first couple steps on land are going to be wobbly.
Could it be any more wobbly than my first few days here puking my guts out?
No. Like, legitimately, you're going to wobble. Because you've gotten used to the movement of the ship.
Mhm.
That being said, hopefully this island that we're gonna be stopping on might have some measure of fruit and the like that we can bring on board.
Mhm.
Depending on how big it is, maybe even some game.
Alright. But as you do get close to the island, you do see several shipwrecks. I mean, you've been seeing several shipwrecks as at just in general
Yeah.
throughout this voyage, but you're seeing several more, which, and a lot of these ships, at least what's left of them, don't appear to be any make that you've seen. Some of them do look like Montaigne ships, other ones don't. And as you get close, you see more of them. Jesus, that's a lot of wrecked ships. And it looks, there's probably 50 ships wrecked in all of this. Most of them look like jumbles, but there's a few that are half sunk.
Captain, let's not go too close to the island with the ship.
I trust that this is what they mean by a ship graveyard.
Aye.
Oh, you could always take the submarine.
That might be a good option. Let's make sure there's no reef or anything that these ships dashed against.
Mhm.
But I'd keep our little coterie here out in deeper water.
That is fair. And it was a good. And as you head out onto the submarine, um, you notice a good thing that you took that because within the water there's sharks.
Yeah.
But you do find what appears to be the leftovers of a flagship, uh, on a ship called the Rose. At least that's what it says on what's left of it. There's not a whole lot that you can find, and not a whole lot of parts to cannibalize for spare parts.
Yeah. Do I find any sort of captain journal?
You do. Most of it is completely illegible due to wear, but there's a few passages that you do find.
Okay.
I'm going to do a bit of copy pasta and put in the first one.
All right.
So
And my cat is asserting his dominance.
So that's what you can make out of one passage. Everything else is way too time weathered to be legible. But this is the second passage, and let me take care of that. And if you wouldn't mind, Kay, could you read off both of those passages?
Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just reading over them really quick myself so I don't stutter too bad.
Mm-mm. But if anyone wants to further examine what's left of the rows, that is going to be wits and sailing.
Okay.
I'm making that roll. Alright. And I'm re-rolling that 1. Still 3 raises. Yeah, still 3 raises for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Can I re-roll, or how do we figure out if we can re-roll?
Woo, go Kosi.
Oh, 5 raises.
Alright. So, the first entry. I am but a little girl from Castile. My father and mother were explorers and seafarers. Under their guidance, the sea became my home and my ship my house. The crown of Castile left them die. Will I never serve these tyrants? It's broken up because I'm assuming it's damaged by water.
Yep.
I may be a pirate, but never will I stoop killing prisoners. I have gathered a bona fide pilot fleet. Me, the little girl from Castile. They respect me. Soon will rule the sea. My crew and have found an uncharted isle. Recorded its precise location. We will hide our treasure there. We are but a few months away from being able to lay this whole piracy business rest and live freely, without harming anyone. Pray that, for once, Renee will back me up. Our 3 ships are headed to the isle, which we will reach within 3 days. How could Irene change like this? She thinks I'm weak. Am going soft with age? Think our love is waning. Damn it, Irene has done it again. She's planning to attack a Montaigne vessel well guarded by 2 other warships. It's much too risky. Have forbidden her from planning stunts like this without consulting me first. I did not become a pirate for glory or wealth. I did it for adventure and freedom. Why can't Irene understand that? Of course, gold will help us build a future of our own, but never at the cost of our morals. Never. Okay, so as I'm reading this, do I get the sense that this captain was a member of the Brotherhood of the Coast?
No. They could be, they could not be. You have no way of knowing or not knowing just from the info. What you all do notice is that there's no cannon holes that point inward. A lot of the damage seems to have been internal.
It was a mutiny.
Could have. But in addition, around the rows, you find a small trading ship that clearly has the make of a Montaigne ship, in which you did find several. You did find a chest of precious metal that contained a pearl necklace and other jewelry.
Oh, we're definitely taking that with us.
Mm-hmm. Along with a Vadach brigantine, which you found a ring set within a large ruby.
That's coming too.
Yep. A Castilian galleon was also found that seemed to have something that indicated it was carrying members of the Vaticine.
Oh shit.
Including what looks like a holy symbol, But-
bring this with us just in case. And we will return it to the Varicine.
But after getting back on the sub and heading closer to the beach, which you did have to do a bit of swimming because you can't just park a submarine.
Yeah.
You find what looks like a makeshift camp that was clearly put together by castaways.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm drawing my pistol just in case, and I've got it locked and loaded.
you do find some supplies that you could bring back, as well as a few weapons. But the camp seems to have been abandoned for a very long time, at least several years.
All right.
But in addition
I
to
give a sharp whistle to the crew from the submarine, tell them to load it up.
Yep. There's not much, but there's a few weapons and a few and a few supplies that you could use for repairs if needed.
Yeah, we'll definitely take them. I'm going to keep looking around the island. Do I roll wits and notice?
Yes, you do.
Two raises.
So within you find a broken crate with a note in it, and not a whole lot else.
All right, what does the note say?
So let me put the note in. This note doesn't appear to be part of any captain's log or anything like that, but it is something that was scribbled together. The writing isn't exactly clean.
Yeah. We have found ourselves in this place because of some supernatural phenomenon. For days, we have been struggling to survive. Food is abundant here, and we have been able to keep our bellies full with fruits as well as fish thrown out by the maelstrom, but water is an issue. Worse still, our nights are hellish. We hear cries echoing from the mountain, sometimes screams of rage, sometimes plaintive wails. Blue light streams out, reflecting off the towering waves that surround us. Over such nights, we are beset by dead men returned to life. The isle is cursed. This is a nightmare we can't escape. 20 crew members have ventured beneath the mountain and found treasure, but only 6 returned. They spoke of traps, specters, and mad horror. We barred the entrances into the caves with rocks and stashed our findings in a chest which we laid in the jungle beneath some old god's fearsome visage. What good will treasure do us if we cannot leave? I already have buried so many of my own because of these nocturnal attacks. Because of this woman, this thing under the mountain, no one will survive. Am I the only one to realize it?
Well, that doesn't bode well.
Nope. Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
Oh, probably not.
I look up at the sky and try to gauge the time.
Yeah, it's late morning.
Okay. Alright,
So you do have some time to explore the island before nightfall.
which I will do so. I'm gonna see if I can't find that old god's fearsome visage.
Alright, it going into the jungle. There's not a whole lot of fauna. You see a few snakes and some birds. Not many. But a lot of the trees have a lot of fruit.
Okay.
You eventually come to a clearing where you find a graveyard, one that looks to be pretty recent. Well, recent by graveyard standards.
Yeah.
And see about 50 graves. Amid the graves lies a desiccated corpse, likely the gravedigger.
Christ almighty.
The earth around the graves is loose and soft, as if it had been recently disturbed.
How recent?
Within the last 2 years, maybe?
Okay, because if you had said within the last 2 days, I would have gone running.
You also find several columns and foundations, what looks like some sort of civilization, though you don't know what. Along with a human-sized statue of a grimacing idol, with it beneath an undergrowth of between 2 trees. And right next to the idol, you find another letter.
All right. I pick it up and I read it.
Yep. Let me give a sec. Let me take a second to post it. And so
Primus, 17th, 1565. Dear Amalia, I can't take it anymore and I'm sorry. I read your diary, which you didn't even bother to hide. It was easy to open it. Why do you write in there all you think about, all you do? I know you truly now. I don't share your kindness and morals. You've changed. You're no longer the fiery, passionate pirate I used to know and love so much. You've become weak. You lowered your guard. You have qualms about taking what is ours by right. Freedom can't be bought by that gold you've been stashing away. Freedom is taken by force. You no longer have the right to command our fleet. That is what the crew and I believe. We've decided to take over while you explore these caverns with your 6th Yesman. I leave you the Rose, but I wrecked her on the Isle's coast, just like you wrecked our dream. The other 2 ships will be leaving with me, along with the loot we were supposed to hide here. Any crew members that were still loyal to you have been executed. Know that they were few. I hope your days will end here by this ridiculous treasure that you thought meant so much to us both. There is no mercy among true pirates. Irene. Captain Amalia, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Would I know that name?
No. Although given the dates, this happened quite a while ago. In fact, give me one moment to double check something so that I don't end up talking out of my ass.
Yep.
Well, any more than normal. So if it's 1565, then that would mean that this particular letter is at least 50 years old.
By the saints.
At least. Probably closer to 75, which would explain why a lot of what's left over has been so worn and illegible.
Mm-hmm. I'm not touching anything treasure related on this island.
But as you get closer to the center of the island, you find the mountain proper, and eventually two passageways into the depths. Both are narrow and difficult to enter without clearing the boulders along the way. It looks like there were rock piles left by the last castaways on this island.
I'm gonna take a look skyward and gauge the time.
It's starting to get around afternoon.
Early afternoon or mid-afternoon?
Mid.
I am heading back to shore because I am not being on this island after sunset.
Hmm.
As I make my way back to shore, I start yelling for all the men to get the fuck off the island.
Well, you heard her. Let's get going.
Mm-hmm.
But as you make a hurry for heading back, you end up hearing what sounds like clattering along the way. And by the time you do get back to where the submarine was, and seeing some of the people there who were packing things up, you realize that what you were worried about was coming to pass, as you see several of them trading cutlass blows with what looks like walking skeletons.
Oh, shit. Looks like these fuckers don't abide by daylight savings time.
So, if you want to help fend it off, that is going to be a weaponry check. Which trait you use is up to you, but you need to describe how you're using it.
Weaponry. If I'm using my pistol, can I use aim instead?
If you use your pistol, that's going to be a 2-die penalty, because there's not a whole lot of stuff to shoot.
Fair enough. Fuck. All right, weaponry it is.
Just so we're clear, I'm still on the ship, right? Or am I also on the ground with everyone?
You're on the ground with them.
Alright. But first, I think I need to make a little change in music. Unless it's not that time.
No, it is that time.
Alright, you heard it here, folks. It's combat time!
Just to clarify, we're all there, right? Because I remember you saying
Yes.
there was only 2 seats available last time.
You can squeeze. You ever had to squeeze in a car?
Yes.
Alright. Weaponry and resolve on my end. Three raises.
So you are able to break up one fight between a skeleton and one of the crews. But but not enough to take them out. And you can see the cutlass that the skeletons themselves, they have some of their old clothing in rags left on them. Their swords are more like metal sticks than swords with how much damage they've gone through.
Rusty as well?
Rusty, chipped. It's not as sharp as your stuff, but that doesn't mean it's not gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Well, I for one am not going to back down now when our entire crew is in literal mortal danger, so I'm going to pitch in with helping making sure these bastards stay off everyone.
Guys, I think I'm gonna have to jet because my blood sugar is wonky and I'm really tired.
That's fine.
No worries.
Alright,
Feel
bye.
better, Shiva?
Thank you.
I would like to tackle one of them and tear them apart.
All right, that's still going to be a weaponry risk. Which trait are you going to be using for that?
I'll use a kitty cat. Sorry, I had cat in the way. Probably.
I got 5 raises.
I'll use
Alright.
fitness. Yes.
Yeah.
Penalty, right?
The penalty was only if you were shooting at them, because you're shooting at a skeleton.
Ah. No bonuses. And I can reroll one. Oops. How do I reroll again? Oh, here we go. I got one raise.
Not bad. So here, the good news is you managed to get in between the fight. The bad news is it isn't a case where you're able to outright take out the skeletons, but at the very least slow them down.
I'm fine with that.
I say slow them down, but it's not like skeletons are all that fast anyways.
Yeah.
Eh.
So basically, this is effectively a tactical retreat. Monk, you there?
Yes, I am. Discord's just being very uncooperative with me. But eventually these skeletons just seem to back off and fall into some sort of, I guess you would call it a repose because they're not sleeping, obviously.
I don't like this. We need to get off the island right now, while they're still.
Everyone back into the... get back inside. I'll cover you until everyone is in.
But as you're attempting to do that, you hear a crack of lightning and see a bright flash in the sky as what looks like a storm is starting to come in.
What?
Double time it, everyone. Back inside the ship.
Getting in the ship, that's not the problem. The problem is just off the island, that maelstrom that was brought up has returned. And off in the distance, you hear what looks like the sound of a very angry woman wailing and screaming, as if she's crying out in sorrow and raging in, well, rage at the same time, sometimes alternating between the two.
Alright, now, question. Where are we at in position to our ship and the Rose?
The Rose is wrecked on the coast.
Okay. Has the submarine returned to our ship yet?
You can get on the submarine, but if you try to get off the island through the submarine, you're going to get caught in the currents because, there's a maelstrom out there.
Okay. Now, is the sound of the woman's wailing and screaming coming from the island itself or from the storm?
It's coming from the direction of the mountain.
Keelan starts cursing in every single language she knows.
That's a lot of them.
Exactly. We're going back to the mountain, and we're going to settle this woman's spirit. Otherwise, she's not going to let us leave.
I don't disagree with that. The question is she going to let us just walk into her, shall we say, her private chambers? Yeah.
Probably not.
We are going to come bearing gifts.
I take it you have something in mind, Quartermaster?
The ring. We're going to bring the ring with us. We're going to offer it as a gift. And we're going to see if we can't settle this woman's spirit. Because we just found a very, very, very pretty ring on a... I believe you said it was a Castilian ship?
Yes. There was the Castilian ship that had the ring, as well as a holy symbol of the Vanicine Church.
That's right. Now, we're leaving the Vaticine symbol on the sub, but I want the ring.
But as you head back into the mountain, it does take a bit of time to clear the entrance. Once you're in, you find yourselves in what is essentially a labyrinth. The rocky tunnels making way to bricked hallways of an old temple dedicated to some unknown deity.
Okay.
And as you step closer in, one of the tiles that you step on crumbles under your weight. So I want you all to roll finesse and athletics.
Six raises.
3 raises.
0.
No, you got 1
Wait, can I-
raise.
Oh yeah, I did. Hold on. Athletics? No, I can't roll.
And you still got 1 raise. Remember, every 10 points counts as a raise.
Ah, every 10 points. Okay.
But you do end up falling into what would have been a spike trap, but the spikes have long since been blunted and rotted. So it's just the equivalent of falling a few feet.
Okay.
Yeah, it hurts like hell, but you're not impaled.
Yes.
And it's not deep enough to where you'd just be stuck there. But it's clear that was supposed to be a spike trap that would have killed you. It's just the trap has been there for so long that it rotted out.
Okay.
Aiming for small mercies.
No kidding.
But you also see what looks like statues of grimacing humanoids built into the walls as you continue onward, as well as a corridor covered with tiles engraved with symbols and snake sculptures.
I take it after that trap, we're now on high alert to keep an eye out for other traps.
Yeah. The statues had a gas trap, you noticed, but were able to maneuver around that. And the other matter was an arrow trap. But as you get closer, you see what looks like ghosts, specters essentially, and several of them whisper, "Wild Rose rules this place. Leave or die."
Monk, real quick, you might want to take a look at and ban the message that just popped up at 12:34. Best viewers. This was on Twitch. Okay, you already got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're looking at it through Restream, it
OBS,
doesn't
yeah.
that they were banned.
I don't see that part.
Yeah.
I only just spotted it on OBS, so.
Plus, I have a bot that's designed to do that automatically.
Ah.
But eventually you end up reaching what appears to be the main room of this temple. On it appears to be an artifact radiating a midnight blue light, as well as well as what appears to be that same cache of treasure that was hinted at in those letters.
Alright. I'm going to slowly approach,
Mhm.
and I'm going to hold the ring out in front of me. Captain Amalia! My name's Keelan O'Torin. And we found your island 50 years after what happened between you and Irene. I wish there was more we could do to help you. But I would ask that you allow us passage back to our vessel. And I'll leave this here with you as both gift and token.
You see what appears to be a female captain, though you can only tell that just from the outfit. Any further details are obscured. But her appearance is clearly spectral. After she appears to be able to pick up the ring, which must have taken quite a bit of effort due to her being normally intangible.
Yes.
Along with it, you see the 6 specters you had seen as you headed into the mountain.
For loyal the roommates.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was more we could do for you, Cap.
But in the there seems to be an air of melancholy about how things went from her. But she takes the ring, and you see her take a cutlass out of a scabbard, and appears to hand it to you.
I take the cutlass in hand.
The thing is well decorated. You see lines of silver roses along with it.
It is a beautiful blade, Cap.
And the other thing that you notice, despite how old everything else has been, this thing looks like it's
Brand new.
It looks like brand spanking new. Like it never dulled or rusted over 50 plus years.
I have to ask Cotton. Is this blade some sort of magic weapon?
She says nothing, but you could have sworn you saw her smile for a moment before she disappears. And what is left, what you see after she leaves is what else was in that temple, namely quite a bit of treasure. It's made of old gold coins, silverware, and chests filled with jewelry.
We are not touching the treasure. They're here
Nope.
protecting it.
No, let's leave the treasure alone. We already got a shiny new to the cutlass. Let's not look
I
get this in the mouth.
am going
I-
to.
You don't when she disappeared, the ghost left with her. It seems that you managed to give her some measure of peace.
So
So
they're
we
effectively
have-
saying
We have their blessing to take it then.
Yes.
Okay then. I settle the cutlass on my hip, and I am going to look at everybody. That's a blessing if I ever saw one. we will take the treasure with us,
Mm-hmm.
and we will make sure that it is rightly divided among the whole crew.
Yep.
Because I get the feeling that's exactly what she would have wanted.
Yeah, you also see that particular artifact that was on the thing seems to be powering some sort of ancient machine, but you can't tell what it was. But as soon as you took the stone out, you didn't hear the storm.
Okay.
I have a question. Are there any more weapons? Of course, rusted, but
Within this room is just the treasure.
mm.
And because of that, I want each of you to add 10 wealth points to your wealth. And the jewelry is not the most expensive looking jewelry, but there's a lot of it.
Okay.
You are able to haul it back and take it back with you to the ship, which when you get back, at both Annabelle and Matilda are are giving you the business, as it were, asking, you were supposed to be gone for a day. You were gone for 3 days. What the hell happened?
The fuck? Alright, both of you, Captain's office right now.
And as I'm guessing you head into the captain's office to explain what happened.
Oh, yes. So, we were there for what I swear to you, it was only a day. Just for the simple fact that I was tracking the damn sun the entire fucking time because I was trying to get us off the island before nightfall. Turns out, fucking thing was haunted. I proceed to show both Annabelle and Matilda the journal entries and the letters that we found. This journal here was the former lover of this bitch here, who marooned and killed the remaining crew members of their armada that were loyal to Captain Amalia here. This was some poor maroon sod who buried more than 50 feckin' people. But the graves didn't look more than 2 years old. These two parted ways roundabouts 50 years ago. And quite frankly, we just had to give a gift to a ghost in order to get off the feckin' island. And I proceed to show them the cutlass that the captain gave me as the blessing to do as such.
That is a nice sword. I'm not taking it.
Best you don't, because there's some sort of magic on it, and I'm not going to be even trying to use it until I know what it does. I get the feeling this thing is now mine, and I can't let anybody else touch it, so let's not take any chances, shall we?
Oh. And
But I also do proceed to tell them that we found a shit ton of treasure. It's to be divided among the crew equally.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is what the captain would have wanted, and if we don't do that, we are probably going to find ourselves haunted as fuck.
You do look like you've seen a ghost.
Oh, I saw 7, plus several skeletons.
Matilda goes, Skeletons.
Skeletons.
We are leaving.
Yes, I agree. That being said, if we stay one more night, we can get food and whatnot off. I'm pretty positive I can get on and off the island with this sword. There's plenty of fruit to be had on them trees.
Mm-hmm. Which you did. One odd thing that does end up happening is you had figured, oh, I'm just gonna be getting supplies. The island's no longer haunted. I don't need to bring my sword with me. But by the time you get on the island, you notice your sword's at your hip, scabbard and all.
Oh, feckin' bullshit! This thing is definitely mine, and I'm cursed. Shit. All right.
Blessed.
Or blessed. Or blessed. Or blessed. Or blessed. Okay. Captain, thank you. Because now I'll never be disarmed. So, we start gathering enough fruit for our coterie of ships. And we leave enough for all the wild animals and whatnot. Because, you know, balance. Gotta make sure they can survive too. They said, the letter said something about fish tossed in by the maelstrom. Did we happen to see any of those said fish?
Yep.
Alright. Have they gone bad?
No.
Surprisingly, okay, we are gathering every single fish we have found on shore then.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually have some fresh meat as well. Alright, so I think that'll do it for supplies unless we need anything else from here. Do we need timber or anything?
No, you did manage to. You did manage to get plenty of timber, and even if some of the ships are way too rotted, there are a good amount of the other ships, especially the ones that were stuck on shore, are just decent enough that you could cannibalize them for parts.
Alright, then we do that.
And more importantly, cannibalize them for ammo.
Yes. We definitely do that.
Now, does that mean you can take some more cannons with you?
No.
Unfortunately, no.
But we're taking the cannonballs.
Mm-hmm. Cannonballs and plenty of grape shot too.
Ooh. Oh, that'll come in handy. All right.
And while it is inert, you do find the ingredients for something else that could probably be very useful, especially considering that most ships are made of wood.
Black powder? Because you mentioned inert. Unless I'm missing something here.
A mixture of petroleum and resins.
Ah! Ooh. Oh, hello, lovely.
Possibly some saltpeter, some sulfur. Of course, I'm pretty sure a a certain alchemist within this party would know would be able to put two and two together as far as what this kind of thing is.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he's down with food poisoning.
You do have a machine. He's not the only one who took alchemy.
Fair enough. I look over at Javier. Oi, you thinking what I'm thinking looking at this?
Sorry.
Javier?
Unless I'm thinking of the wrong character.
No, you are.
Okay, good.
Sorry, I had my mind elsewhere. What are we on right now?
When they were getting parts from the ships, they had found petroleum and some resins, as well as stuff like saltpeter and sulfur.
Sounds like a fuels and weapons gold mine.
But I'll just speak out of character. You have the materials for Greek fire.
Yep.
Ooh.
Which is tar-based fire, which can be used on ships and will burn even on the water.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, can you lay down, please? Your paws hurt. I've got a cat in my lap. Alright, settle in, come on.
But the point is that while it's not going to be enough to go into a full slugfest with a frigate like what you dealt with earlier. There is enough there that you could at least hold your own if you get attacked by a similar scale of pirates, which, or pirates in the employ of certain people.
Thank you. But yes. Greek fire. Hee 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 hee.
And in the process of that, you're able to repair these small bits of damage from the storm from earlier, and eventually get off the damn island. And after a few days worth of sailing, you will eventually arrive at the Atabean Sea and one of the main island colonies there. Now, as far as the Atabean Sea, this is home to the Rauri, who may have been refugees of the Greater Atlan Empire, and kind of formed a nation around here. 100 years ago, they first made contact with people from Thea. Early relations were strained at their most generous. But eventually, an agreement was, as long as you don't mess with them, then the monsters within the sea, because they do refer to it as the Sea of Monsters, will not try and mess with you.
All right.
And things were on a decent relationship, and then the ATC decided to roll in and start getting far more aggressive when it comes to getting territory within the islands. But you essentially have it where the islands are still under the control of the Rowry, but more and more political pull is in favor of Thayan nations, and those Thayan nations are losing some of their political pull to the ATC because they can throw their weight around.
Okay.
But it is known that the title of this area, the Sea of Monsters, is not for show. Of course, you saw that firsthand a few
Yeah, with the
days
Kraken.
ago. Hmm.
So it's a good thing we didn't fire back.
Hmm. But if for a parallel, these islands aren't too far removed from a setting equivalent version of the Caribbean islands.
Okay.
But eventually you do start to see land of the islands. But as far as what happens when you make land, we're going to be ending it a little bit early because that marks the end of Act 1.
Dude.
And for Act 2, there's a few things to be set up, and I'll be handling that on my own time.
All right. So really quick,
Mhm.
I'm going to take this cutlass to Javier, and I'm gonna look him in the eye. Can you tell me what the fuck this thing is?
See,
Yeah, and you got it
Javier,
from a ghost. I don't know how scientific I can be with this.
You're an archaeologist. There's got to be something in your notes about this because this feckin' thing, I left it on the ship the last time we went ashore to get the food and whatnot. It appeared on my feckin' hip.
Sure, I suppose it came from somewhere. I can take a quick look at the records. Never seen anything like it, though.
So this is going to be a scholarship roll. Uh, Wits and scholarship is what you're going to be rolling.
Three raises. Though if you've got 3 points in scholarship, you can re-roll that one.
Let's see. I should, though. Yep.
As far as in scientific records, not so.
That gives her
That's
4
wonderful.
raises. Or gives them 4 raises.
Yep. So in terms of scientific record, there's not a whole lot, but there was an old story of a sword that was loyal to its master to the point of always wanting to be by its side to protect its master.
Oh boy.
Look at you.
Even
You
that's
got
nice.
a literal faithful blade by your side.
Duly noted.
Well, aren't you lucky?
I guess I am.
I think to further examine this, you'd need to what you need is not a scientist. You need a you need a priest or a or some kind of holy man.
Well, let's see if I can find one in port.
Yeah, but we will end up covering that on the 8th. I realize this is a bit of a short stream, but this has been a very cursed stream this week.
Unfortunately.
So I am going to make sure in the next few days that I call an exorcist.
That is
But-
not the button I wanted to fucking push, son of a bitch.
With that said, we will return in a week, and when we do, we will be starting Act
2. And he cuts out again.
to see you all for that. Yeah,
You cut
yeah.
out about halfway into saying Act 2.
Yep. So I hope to see you all back for that. But until then, on behalf
Oh.
On behalf of the good brothers and sisters present,
of I am your gaming monks here.
stay fucking frosty, everybody.
Damn, this really has been a cursed episode.
More
Alright.
ways than one.
Let's try that again, Monk.
Am I clear? Am I clear now?
Yes. Hopefully.
Take 2. Let's do it from the top.
Oh man, we are definitely having issues with this stream today. What the shit?
We may actually need to call a holy man just to exercise our systems.
Maybe Monk needs a new microphone?
Alright, everybody, I am going to take this out for us on behalf of the monk with his technical difficulties. He is Mildred, he is your gaming monk, and he is going to tell you to stay fucking frosty, everybody. Good night. I've already put it over. Oh my god. Don't even get me started. I will explain in a minute. I'm talking to John, by the way, everybody. Alright, Monk, if you can still hear me, I need you to DM or throw like a ping or something in Sacristi chat for the